Hello everyone, I'm Sean Taggy. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and partner of Memphis Investment Properties. Today I'm going to put on a little video on how to get started in real estate, and I'm going to be going off a little bit of what Scott Trench, the CEO of Bigger Pockets, stated. He put a blog out, it was really interesting, got my mind rolling. And of course I'm going to butcher a couple things he said, but he basically wrote, is it worth spending the 500 or so hours of learning and networking to get started in real estate? And just kind of summarizing here, he said if you spend 1 hour learning about real estate, you're going to get hosed. That's not enough time to learn all the things of real estate. Then if you spend 10 hours as well, you're going to get hosed in real estate. You're going to lose money on a deal. You're not going to be successful. So then he says around 100 hours, you might do okay, right? You'll be okay. You might be able to be successful or not. He says once when you get up to 1,000 hours, you're going to be successful over time, right? Over the long term of period. And then he also said if you have 10,000 hours or more, he said to call me, right? He said, call me. I got some money to invest with you. And so what he said in his post, somewhere between this 100 to 1,000 hours, and he said let's call it 500 hours, that's probably the time commitment you're needing to spend to really learn the ins and outs of real estate and to be successful. And so I agree with all that he said there, and I'd like to elaborate a little more on that. So in order to be successful in real estate, let me flip this over and kind of go through here. Here's all the things, going into that 500 hours where you should focus your stuff on. So first, you're going to need to focus on your knowledge. So a lot of people, some people, and it's kind of personality, but if you're book smart and things like that and analytical, knowledge, you need to have a knowledge of valuating real estate. So appraisers can spend 500 to 1,500 hours doing exams and following up and being apprentice appraisals before they get their license. So I'm not saying you necessarily need to become an appraiser and get your appraisal license, but you need to know the 20% of those big things, because if you make your money when you buy. So if you're not good at valuating what that property will be worth after you fix it up, then you're not going to be successful. So valuating and knowing the market and what the comps are and thinking like what an appraisal will think like, that's a very important thing to get to know about. Next is you need to be good at estimating renovations, right? Based off pictures or viewing a property, how much it's going to cost to fix up that house. Because yet again, if you put in a 10 grand renovation or a 30 or 40 grand renovation, it's going to change your valuation. So if you're off though on estimating that, you'll get hosed yet again. So you don't need to get your contractor's license, which takes hundreds of hours and an exam, but you definitely do need to know the 80-20 of estimating reno and what things to look for. So in terms of knowledge base as well, what you need to be good at is also estimating rents, right? Because you're going to be a buy and hold investor maybe, and you have to know what the rents are and what different types of bedroom or bathroom count or neighborhoods and the feel of streets and what that looks like. So you're not off on your rent, because if you're off on your rent, that totally can kill your cash flow and the deal. In terms of knowledge base as well, you have to be really good at knowing your market, right? I would say you need to know the 20-80 of that. So you have to know 80% of that market really well, or even more, by knowing if there's a house that is east of this certain street, it's going to be worth 10 grand less. And so when I'm estimating my valuation and my reno, I might over renovate it or under renovate it, depending on where that property is in even a little pocket. So you have to be that good at knowing that market and knowing different stigmas and where things are going. Also, you need to know where the path of progression is and other things like that, and that just takes time and market knowledge. So the other aspect of what you should be focusing on and how to get started in real estate is your networking. Right, so networking, you need to find people that are good at finding you deals. So you need to network with a lot of wholesalers and agents and people in your network, and also maybe even researching yourself how to market to find deals, whether that's direct mail or signs or networking or cold calling. So either find people who are doing those things or you do it yourself. And kind of in this, man, I would say 1 in 3 of those people are actually going to be a legit person that's out for your best interest. So you need to be knowledgeable enough to know is this one of those 3 good people who are actually going to be in my best interest? Because other wholesalers or agents, knowingly or unknowingly, might tell you wrong information. So that's why you need to know this, to know that they're good or not necessarily, or a bad wholesaler or agent for you. In terms of knowledge, networking, then you need to network with people who can do your renovations, right? You might not want to do it on your own, so you need to network with plumbers, painters, electricians, contractors, lots of subs that can do all these little jobs for you and that are specialized and spent lots of time knowing that. And this, I would say 1 in 4 of those people are actually going to be beneficial to you, and that's on our end. We've gone through dozens of contractors and subcontractors, and 1 in 4 are actually good, that will do what they say they're going to do in the time they say they're going to do it, and at the price they say they're going to do it. So yet again, there's a risk there, risk tolerance, and things that you'll learn through that. As best you can screen them, you still will have that bad luck. That's just the market and industry. So also you'll need people to help you sell. Eventually you're going to want to exit the market. You need to know other realtors or become a realtor yourself to help you sell these properties and give you the best pricing. Next, you're going to need to network with people to help you with financing. So lenders, hard money lenders, long-term lenders, Fannie Mae lenders, and know all those rates and terms and what's good. You need that good financing team, because that can make or break your deal for you. If you don't have the right financing on your offer, you could lose out on deals. And if your financing falls through, you lose out on a deal as well. So we've gone through dozens of people that help us finance our deals. Okay. Other ways is property management. You need to screen through property managers and network with property managers to find the right one. And then there's lots of other people just that you need to network with, such as title companies, have them on your team, insurance companies. So as you can see, there's a lot you need to do to get started in real estate and spend your 500 hours on activities and things like this. And what's even more harder about this in real estate is you might be good at one side of these. These are analytical skills and these are people skills. You might not be that person that has both these things or a little bit in both. So yet again, even with that 10,000 hours, you might not even be good at it because you're only good at one side of the spectrum. It's hard to be balanced. So if you can evaluate and estimate the reno and estimate the rent and know the market and find people on your team to help you find deals and renovate and financing and property management and other team members, then you will be successful with those 10,000 hours spent, or 500 hours, right, that Scott Trench mentioned. Or lastly, what if you're like, I don't want to do any of that and I don't want to spend the 500 hours? Is there a way to still do real estate? And there is. It's find people who have that 10K hours invested in real estate and knowledge. And that's what we do here at Memphis Investment Properties. I can think of 7+ people on our team who have decades of experience in any of these areas or all of these areas. My partners, Jim Reedy and Brad Reedy, Jim Reedy's been in 30, 40 years in the Memphis real estate market and knows all of these things inside and out. I'd say 10,000 hours almost in every one of these fields. So that's what you can do, is you can partner up with a turnkey company. Is an alternative if you're just deciding, I don't want to spend the 500 hours, but I do have money and I don't want to spend it in the stock market. You can partner up with other people who have those 10,000 hours. So there's kind of your options and alternatives and ways to get started in real estate. And if you don't want to spend that time in there and don't want to risk it on losing money on deals and other things, which we've done over the years and have learned from our mistakes, find someone who has. So yeah, thank you very much and appreciate everyone.